Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy back at it again. Hey, welcome to another edition of the Rico Report. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. You guys don't have to tune in. You guys don't. But you choose to be here and it's appreciative. Let's go. We got things to talk about, baby. Hey, it's the off season. I don't know how, as content creators, that we come up with things every freaking single week and it doesn't get too repetitive. I apologize, but I mean, we're in draft season, man. We finished with the free agency. We made boatload of moves in free agency. We are now officially in draft season, right? We're talking about draft picks. We're talking about prospects. We're talking about a whole lot of stuff. But I still have a very big interest in what we will do to fill the roster, right? Fill some of our roster needs as we inch closer to free agency, right? Excuse me, to the draft. And I want to thank you guys because you guys have been tuning in. You guys have been rocking with me. You guys have been rocking with Z Bat. You've been rocking with my man Rev. And you guys stay strong with us, man. So I appreciate you. We aren't at over 21,000 subscribers for no reason. So thank you for being here, man. So grab yourself your coffee if you need to. If you're at the gym, you know what I mean? Get that extra set in. You know what I'm saying? Get that little extra rep in, and let's rock with your boy. So let's go. Today's show. Are we in the need? Is McDermott in the need to hurry up and get himself a free agent corner, a veteran corner? That's been the conversation, right? Because we're trying to scoop up the next guy so we're good. I mean, dude, we've made over 15 transactions, give or take, by bringing in free agents, re-signing cats. You know what I'm saying? We've been making moves. It's not, I mean, listen, we're going to have to chill for a bit. Brandon Bean, you know what I'm saying? Read big contracts to Stephon Diggs. Like, we've got to now relax and now start focusing on the draft. And that makes sense. But there are some folks out there that feel that we should be signing one more guy so we can just be content and be fulfilled. We're full. We're now, our heart is content now because now we have big uncertainty with when Trey White will be returning. We have no idea. These injuries, everybody heals differently. Everybody comes back at a different pace, right? I'm hoping that he is ahead of schedule. He's a fairly young man. He should be able to spring back and get back into things. So we'll see how that plays out. But I'm going to tell you this, though. If he's not, are we prepared? Number one, are we comfortable with what we have sitting at our disposal on this team? It's actually very interesting. I'm actually very curious to see how this plays out. So let's jump into it now. But before we jump into it, I've got off the cuff. I don't want to call it news, but off the cuff topic that I want to speak on. Whether I want to speak on this now or I might wait till later, but I'll preface it now. Peter Schrager from Good Morning Football had a very interesting mock draft. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this mock draft, but let's talk about it right now. We're going to talk about it right now. He had a very interesting mock draft, and I'm curious if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, you guys are shameful for you guys. Follow me on Twitter right here, right there, Mr. Rico _BF. I might change my Twitter handle soon. I don't know. Mr. just sounds kind of, you know what I mean? But I might change it up. But anyway, he put out a mock draft for us. And something we've considered this position, but this specific individual never has been on our radar, my radar, not even close to my mock drafts. So if you take a look at this Peter Schrager mock draft, it's his first mock draft. Very interesting, to say the least. He's got the Bills taking a linebacker. Now, let me bring you back to me. Linebacker is not a bad idea. We've talked about this. I mean, any position, we are in a position to grab any position. We are. I mean, the only, excuse me, I almost choked on me. The only outlandish position for us to grab in the first round would be quarterback. There would just be no need. You can make a case for running back. You can make a case for receiver. You can even make a case for center You can make a case for guard, any of the O-line position. You can make a case for defensive line, safety, corner. Every position you can make a case for. Now, linebacker, very interesting. More specifically, Quay Walker from Georgia. Very interesting from Peter Schrager. Now, I'm going to see if I can find the clip here. But how does one come to such a, I mean, how do I put this? How do you come to a decision like that? To say, you know what, Quay is the guy that the Bills will be potentially looking at. So Peter Schrager was on the Pat McAfee show, and he had an explanation for how he comes to his mocks. And I could talk about it, or I could just play you the damn clip, and you guys can hear the audio for yourself. So, fair question asked, right? So I'm going to play it for you guys. So check this out. Let me back it up a little bit. I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to play you guys that audio because I think it's actually very interesting. All right, so give me a second here.
Came out today. This is a big deal because you actually do like real research, right? This is how you're feeling. This is what you're thinking at the moment. How much has changed in the past from your first to your second, and how accurate are you normally?
Yeah, no, and this is what I kind of position it as. I don't have the hubris to come out here and be like, hey, I'm a scout, or I do hip swivel, or I can break down a 40-time why it matters. My best asset is I talk to everybody in the league. I've got a phone, I've got access, and people won't tell me who they're taking directly, but I'll get the feel for talking to a head coach or talking to a general manager. Detective. Here's what they're looking for, and here's the type of player they're looking for. And this player would be off their board. Then you start hearing the rumors from the other ones. Well, I hear at the pro day, this guy was talking about this guy. I think I've got as good as sources when it comes to this stuff as anybody, and my mock draft tends to be as accurate. But I don't come at it as, here's what I would do if I'm Seattle with the 9th pick. I do it as, here's what people around the league think Seattle's going to do with the 9th pick. So I look at it that way. If you want accuracy and you want kind of insights you're not getting everywhere else, that's my mock draft. If you want what the scouts and there's a lot of mock drafts for that as well.
Okay.
How interesting. So he's purely going by who he speaks to. He's talking to coaches. He's talking to GMs. And they're not telling him exactly who we're picking. But they're telling him, here's the type of player we're looking for. We're looking for a physical type of linebacker, or a physical type of player. We want headstrong. And we've been looking at this university. This university's got the type of players we're looking for. So he's like, okay. So then he goes by what they tell him. And he goes by, okay, what are the needs that these Buffalo Bills have? Okay, look at that linebacker position. Tremaine Edmonds, there's up and down questions about Tremaine Edmonds. Milano's the only other guy that's a stud. Other than that, we've got some depth players. Nothing that stands out. So then he mocks us to Quay Walker. I find that very interesting. Now, I'm not going to say too much on this topic because this is a topic for another day. However, I will say this. I was looking back to see McDermott and the teams that he's obviously been part of, and the most important team and the most recent team was the Panthers. And the Panthers had two very good linebackers in Thomas Davis, and you had Luke Kuechly. Now, if you're going to assess our linebackers, which one's closer to Luke Kuechly and which one's closer to Thomas Davis between Tremaine Edmonds and Milano? Is Milano the Luke Kuechly? Or is Thomas Davis the Luke Kuechly? And we are looking, is Milano our Thomas Davis, and we are searching for our Luke Kuechly? Maybe they don't find Tremaine Edmonds that guy. They'll give him another year to prove that he is. Does he turn on the switch and be the Luke Kuechly that they've been possibly looking for? Or do they continue to search? But then, is Quay Walker that dude? Or is linebacker, are we looking at Nakobe Dean? Right? So very interesting to see these mock drafts, man. These mock drafts, they're all over the place. And the killer part is he says he's pretty accurate on his mock drafts. So I'd have to go back and see his mock drafts and see how accurate he is. Could the Bills be picking linebacker with the 25th pick? And which of those two linebackers reminds you, or comes close to Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis. And when I look at Quay Walker, and I was looking at some film on Quay Walker, I was like, he's physical, very physical, but 25? Nah, I'm not rocking with that. I remember asking you guys a question last week. What move would the Bills do that would piss you off and kind of ruin the draft for you? Linebacker was definitely not one of them for me. But if we pick Quay Walker, I'd be like, fam, what are we doing? But what the heck do I know and what the heck do we know? Because I was one of many that didn't know who the hell Tre'Davious White was. Who the heck is Tre'Davious White? And guess what? Tre'Davious White is one of our best defensive players on the team. Go figure. So I'm off that topic. I wanted to jump in there real quick, and I'm out. Hopscotch, man. I'm in, and I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Let me get a couple skips, and I'm out of here. Now let's get back to your regular scheduled program when it comes to cornerback. Now here's the deal. We've got some free agent cornerbacks out there. Very good ones. They can cost a pretty penny. Right now, the Bills have about, what are we looking at? Like 8.2 mil, I believe. Yes, that's my man Bobby came up with it. The cap update is at 8.2. I know we just signed Bobby Hart. So that cap went down just a little bit. So we're probably in the 7 mil, seven and change. But we got some money. Now we do have to draft our draft picks and we got to pay our draft picks. But we have a little something in the bank. Some people like to call it the banana tree. Bean's going to have to go and make some banana pudding, do something if he wants to. They're saying sign another player. Now, there are 3 free agents that are out there. I've spoken about this, that I think this team could benefit from. Free agent number 1. I'm talking about Joe Hayden. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Joe Hayden. Joe Hayden is a solid player. He came out for the Browns, was a solid player for the Browns, and made his way over, play for Pittsburgh. He's been freaking solid. 29 career interceptions. He's got 10 of them with Pittsburgh. He's got 155 pass breakups career-wise, and he's got 55 of them with Pittsburgh. And he's not afraid to tackle, ladies and gentlemen. He's got 198 solo tackles with Pittsburgh alone. Joe Hayden would be a nice addition, veteran addition, to hold us over. And not only hold us over, he would have to compete with Dane Jackson or whoever we potentially draft at corner. Joe Hayden would probably be a 1-year, maybe 2-year deal. But that wouldn't be a bad selection for this Bills team. Joe Hayden to the Bills looks really good to me, and I wouldn't mind it. I actually really like it. And I'm sure he wouldn't cost a pretty penny. So Joe Hayden, that's one of them. It's not a bad spot for the Bills to pick up a free agent corner. Wouldn't cost you wouldn't cost you a red penny. A big coins. It wouldn't. It'd be perfect. Just right. I got a comment coming in from my man Truth to Hearts. What up, Truth? I haven't heard from you in a minute, man. What's up, fam? Rico, if Bills was going to replace Edmonds, we would already have a contingency plan. For all we know, Edmonds has a deal but getting on himself. Just saying. Or they're waiting. They're firmly waiting to see what pans out. But I can't see them moving him this season. I think they're going to keep him and get everything they can out of him before they make a final decision. And we'll see. I mean, we could always franchise tag him afterwards as well. So we'll see. We shall see. Now, Joe Hayden would be a nice addition to the Bills. I like that. Moving on from Joe Hayden. We've got other moves that we can make at that free agent position, right? Stephon Gilmore. We've been talking about Stephon Gilmore. Would Stephon Gilmore's return to Buffalo be beneficial? I mean, you remember him in that uniform. Wasn't it nice? We liked Stephon Gilmore until he kind of punked us off a little bit. But it's business. It is strictly business. That's how he rolls. That's how he feels, right? But what we can't deny is how good of a corner he is. 13 interceptions the last a couple stints that he had with the Panthers and Patriots. He's got 54 pass breakups with the Panthers and the Patriots combined. And you know he's willing to tackle. He's physical. 126 solo tackles. He will get in there. And he had a short stint with the Panthers. I actually kind of like that number 9 on him. But I would not mind if we brought him back. But for someone like him, it's going to cost. Now, if we are in the business of winning, and then we are in the business of trying to put together a championship caliber team, you think we go right for the gusto and bring him on. That defense would be nasty. You got Trey White on one side once he returns. You got the Gilly Lock on one side. You got Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde holding down the back end. And you got Von Miller and Greg Rousseau screaming at those quarterbacks. This defense can be extremely nasty. I'm going to tell you that right now. Now, that's Stephon Gilmore. See, MP says Gilmore's a pass for me. And if he's a pass for you, I certainly know he's a pass for you because you are in your feelings. Meaning you don't want any part of him because he must have punked off the Buffalo Bills and said, I want to be on TV. Well, guess what? We are on TV often. And we're probably going to be on TV for a long time. Often. So he would get his wish. He would get his wish. Being on TV, mama, look at me. Right? Now, another free agent that I'm looking at that I think would be great for this team, AJ Bouye. Would be inexpensive, still physical, still can play, still can get at it. Why not? Bouye's got 14 career interceptions. So he's got some ball skills. He's up there. 75 career pass breakups. So he's up in your face. He will be in your hip pocket. And he's got 190 total tackles in the last 5 years. 3 of them with Jacksonville. And he's done a couple stints elsewhere. Denver. I think he was in Denver for a little bit. But AJ Bouye would be a nice, low-key addition to this team that kind of gives you a bit of a stopgap, if you will. A veteran presence on the one side. And allows you to compete heavily. Now, all this is great. All this is fantastic. I'm a big fan of bringing these type of guys onto this team. It screams McDermott, right? Veteran guy, come on in, compete, and we go from there. So to me, that makes all the sense in the world. Now, I believe that the Bills, they absolutely love Dane Jackson. They absolutely love Dane Jackson. And I really believe they want to give him a true opportunity to start. I think they want to give him a true opportunity to be that Levi Wallace across from Trey White, right? I know that Brandon Beane gushed about him. Brandon Beane was elated that they were able to get this guy in the 7th round. And Dane Jackson seems to be very instinctual. He's right where he needs to be all the time. Sometimes you may get beat. That's going to happen. But if you hustle and you're where you're supposed to be, man, sometimes the ball just falls in your lap. And a lot of times it's happened when he's played with us. And what I love about Dane Jackson is he is physical. He has no bones about lighting your ass up. It's a pretty thing. It's a pretty thing. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of Dane Jackson. Problem is, we got Trey White that's still coming off an injury. And we still got to wait it out. But Dane Jackson is someone that I'm actually super excited to see him really take on in his 3rd year. I can't wait, actually. And it should be very interesting. Now, are we in a hurry? And this is the main question. Do we need to make these moves before the draft? You got 2 ways you can look at it. Get yourself a corner, a free agent corner right now. So that way, when you are going into the draft, you don't have that I need to get this player right now because you can actually chill and really evaluate. Not that they're not evaluating now, but there's less pressure for you to do that. In my opinion, wait it out. We are in no hurry to bring on any veteran corner. Why? Hear me out. And this is things that I'm sure you guys know, but the amount of, guys got to get up to 90. They got to get up to 90 players on the roster, right? You make your draft. You draft your 7, 8, 9 guys, whatever you guys have. And then once you draft some players, you're looking at kind of cutting some players as well. There will be some cap casualties. There will be some guys, you know what I'm saying, in these early camps and even now that will either ask for a release, because what ends up happening is this, right? You're a fringe corner where you had a decent year, but you didn't impress a whole lot of people. That's kind of like what our linebacker Tremaine Evans is going through right now. Fringe. And they draft a big time player, first round. You're like, okay, what the heck was that? You can do two things: compete and say, all right, bring it on, or like, I'm not doing this shit. Trade me. Find somewhere to trade me or release me, because I'll find my way. Y'all can deal with this rookie. I'm not doing this. This is where Bean comes in and says, ooh, there you go. Come on over. Come on over here and we'll take care of you. I can see that happening. So we can chill, people. We don't necessarily have to be rushing in to get yourself a free agent cat to come in just to fill the role, especially because we have some guys that we want to see what they're about on this squad. Like, we draft these players to see what they do, what they can do for us. Dane Jackson being one of them. Maybe they want to see more of Cam Lewis. What can Cam Lewis do to bring to this team that maybe he can hold us down? Dane Jackson and Cam Lewis. Am I confident in that? I'm not so much. But you never know. But the draft will tell us a lot. The draft will tell us all. Maybe it's rookie has to compete with Cam Lewis. Maybe we are very comfortable where we're at. Maybe we don't even bring a free agent. We just go with what we have on our roster, and then we draft a couple corners. Very interesting to see how Brandon Beane's going to play this out. But I really don't think we're in any shape or form to rush into trying to get ourselves a corner. We can chill. We can definitely chill. Jason came in with a comment here. He says, "Hey, can we do a comparison to all the free agent corners out there?" I can try to get a list going on soon. My man Rev says, "Yo, last year before Bean picked up Allen and Edmonds' fifth-year options, he said it didn't make sense to pick them up and not extend them. But he has to see how it'll fit in their system." Well, we'll soon find out. A lot of this is a lot of lip service. Now, one thing that I can respect, and I think we can all respect about Brandon Bean, is he doesn't mince his words too much. He says what he says. If he says, we're going to work something out, we're going to work something out. He's one of those. It's a rare trait, a rare characteristic to have when you're a man of your word, when you say something. And he seems like he's a man of his word. When he says something, he's going to do it. Now, he did kind of pull the wool over our eyes when he was like, Sammy Watkins is going to be part of the squad. A few days later, Sammy Watkins is gone. You feel me? So take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt. That is for a fact. My man Silas Whittle with a super chat. I appreciate you, Silas. You know what it is. Silas comes in and says, "Yo, you got to sign Gilmore to a 2-year deal with a team option for year 3. Problem solved. Draft a guy with some speed and give the Rook and Dane some consistent snaps." Well, if you sign Gilmore, and you sign him, he ain't signing for no cheap deal. Dane Jackson ain't going to see the field because it's going to be Gilmore. It's going to be Trey White. And if we draft a rookie, the rookie ain't going to see the field either. So it's a tough. If you draft a big name like Gilmore, it's Gilmore and White, and Dane Jackson's just got to wait his turn. And then by that time, it's going to be Dane Jackson's time to get up for a contract. And does he come back to be a backup for a little longer? Or is he ready to take over after Gilmore leaves after 2 years? He's only getting older, so it's very interesting to see that play out. But that's not a bad way to look at things, Silas. Not a bad way to look at things at all. So looking at this whole situation with what we need to do and what this team brings to the table, I'm sitting here looking at this Bills team and their roster. Fair. We have things that we can definitely improve on for sure. But like we've been all talking about, we don't have glaring needs. Now, things change tremendously with this whole Poyer thing looming, because it is looming. If anybody tells you that it's not, it is. What's going to happen with that? And I'm sure we're going to wait until the draft comes to its complete end. And who we pick will determine what goes on with Jordan Poyer. You pick a safety in the first round. Boy, oh boy. You know we're gonna be talking about that. But I think they love Poyer enough that they want to bring this thing back and run it back and win. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But when you look at the corners we have on this squad, think about it. We got Trey White, Teron Johnson, nickel, Cam Lewis, Dane Jackson, Nick McLeod, Tim Harris, Elijah Griffin. So I know we want our young guys to, have an opportunity, and they're going to have to compete. Nick McLeod, I'd like to see a little bit more of Nick McLeod, see what he's got. You know what I'm saying? Elijah Griffin, some people were making some big things about Mr. Griffin. So we'll see. A veteran would be nice, but we are in no rush to get a veteran. We can chill. We can sit and chill. And I think the Bills are doing just that right now. We got a comment coming from Mr. Judy. What up, Judy? Sartaj. He goes, what's the point of restructuring Bates for space this year and then sitting on it? I feel like they told a free agent like Gilmore they may have a bag for them after the draft for pushing money. Well, I don't know if we saved enough money even from Bates anyway. And that Bates restructure was most likely to try to save some money for drafting our draft picks, because we didn't save that much. It was like, what, 1.5? That 1.5 ain't gonna do it for Gilmore. You need a bit of more of a bag for Gilmore. All depending, right? And the longer Gilmore is out there, guys like Gilmore, do their stocks go down or do they go up? Right now the stock is even. Once the draft comes along, now it's a little different. Teams are going to be looking or not. So he might be wanting to fall on a team. And when these guys are when they're late in their career like this, I don't want to say he's that late. He's still a young buck either way, but they're late in their career. At this point, it's about the money, yes, but it's about landing in the good spot too. You got to pick the best spot for you. And if you're not in the best spot, you can forget about them trying to just take the money somewhere. Taking the money, like, could you imagine going to Jacksonville, take the money in Jacksonville? I don't know if I'm ready to, be part of a team that's rebuilding and trying to make things happen, right? Can you imagine going to the AFC West right now? I mean, who's the worst team in the AFC West right now? AFC West is a gauntlet. I don't know what's going on with that AFC West, man. You got Denver, you got the Raiders, you got the Chiefs, you got the Chargers. Golly. You know what I mean? Or you can go to the freaking AFC South. Texans. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But you got to pick the right team, right situation. That's what it's going to come down to. Jason N says, signing Hayden to a 1-year contract in the draft an explosive cornerback in the draft, have a competition between him and Dane. Hayden, the rookie, listen, I know what you're saying. I'm trying to read it really quickly. But you're pretty much saying, like, signing what I pretty much said earlier. You sign a guy like free agent like Hayden, draft yourself a corner, you know what I'm saying, and have these guys compete and see how that plays out until Trey White gets back. 100%. I'm with you. I got a super chat coming in from my man Audrey, or my lady Audrey. What's happening, Audrey? Bills need to draft later in the rounds. Vitaly Gurman, O-line from Toledo, number 98, number 78. I'm gonna look that up. Vitaly, Russian. Vitaly. I'm gonna definitely look that up. It'll be interesting to see, and I appreciate that super chat, by the way. Thank you so much for that. And just like that, we're gonna move on for another topic. All right, folks. The ref comes in with a super chat, says, hey, Rico, not many headlines on this, but I read an article on WBUF.com. All right. Bean made a comment about a potential trade with the Giants. They have picks 5 and 7. Listen, if you guys think, and I'm sure you guys, we're a smart bunch of people, Buffalo Fanatics. You guys been following us for a while. You guys know how we think at Buffalo Fanatics. And you guys are smart folks, man. You guys been watching the Rico Report. You guys are smart folks, right? And if you think for 1 second that Brandon Bean and Joe Shane haven't been in constant communication or haven't been chatting or had a deal in place, and when I say deal in place, I mean a contingency plan. Hey, listen, if you don't see anything you like in the first, 10 picks, or you want something from me on my end, let's make something happen. 5-7, maybe we can trade up. I don't like, who knows, right? A player and this, you just never know. Maybe it's a 3-team deal. In order for this to happen, we need this team. So maybe it's a mega deal where things shake up and all of a sudden the Bills are picking in the top 15. And you're like, how the heck did that happen? Now, picking in the top 15, it'll be interesting because, there are some quality players in the top 15. It's possible. It is very possible. So Joe Shane and Brandon Bean for sure have had conversations. Joe Shane and Brian Dable have gone over there and are creating the same type of culture they're creating over here in Buffalo. And I'm sure they told everybody, hey, we're always going to be looking. Don't get comfortable, pretty much. And don't forget, I just came from Buffalo, man. I got some ties. So y'all don't get comfortable. You guys can stay in the same state, but you guys might be going to New York. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But is there anybody on that roster, on that New York roster, that we absolutely love? Who knows? But those picks, though, that could be something that we can play in, right? Maybe they want something of ours later on. Who knows? But yeah, don't sleep on that relationship between Joe Shane and Brandon Bean, McDermott and Brian Dable. Don't sleep on that. We'll see how that plays out. But very, very good comment. Very good question. We'll see how that plays out, the ref. My man, ref. We'll see how that plays out. David Serrano says, yo, what's up, Rico? Gilmore's wife hates Buffalo. Likes hyenas, hates like hyenas hate lions. She will not let him come to Buffalo. Well, I mean, the wifey has a say. Don't get me wrong. Wifey always has a say. And she don't have to live in Buffalo. You know what I mean? If he's there to get the championship, he's trying to get, a little bit of a bag, and it's in Buffalo, then he's gonna be like, babe, sometimes it's cool to just kind of chill out and let me try to work this out. You can stay in South Carolina if you need to, or North Carolina, wherever the hell he's from. You know what I'm saying? But who wants to be away from their man? So who knows? He may not even come to Buffalo. I personally doubt he would come to Buffalo. I think he would rather be elsewhere. And he will his skill set, they'll find a place for him. He'll find somewhere to go. There's no question about it. He'll find somewhere to go. Now, there was a comment on Twitter before I get to my next topic here. There was a comment on Twitter not too long ago. I was talking about the running back position, and there was a sweet edit that was made by Eli. E Swaps is his name, but Eli, I can't remember his last name. But anyways, have a look on the Buffalo Fanatics IG or Twitter. Sweet edit of Breece Hall in a Bills uniform. And I was actually very shocked to hear that folks would rather keep Devin Singletary at running back and forego drafting the likes of a Breece Hall, if you will. I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. I couldn't believe my ears. They would rather have Devin Singletary come back in his last year and lead us in the backfield. Which then leads me to my next topic. Why? Because it's interesting. Because I was thinking to myself, going into this draft, you've got to be able to identify your weak links. You've got to be able to identify your weak links on your squad. And the good thing about this team is there aren't many weak links on our squad. This is a very strong roster that we are housing right now. Very strong roster. And I can't see many glaring holes. Now, this is where you guys come in the chat, whether you guys are in the live chat, whether you guys are watching and listening off of YouTube, or you're listening through podcast form. Hear me out when I talk about this. Where's our weak link? Who is our weak link on the offense? What individual or what department where you're like, that's what's holding us back in order for us to get over the hump? Can you identify who that is? Because I'm looking at this roster and I was like, where is it the linebacker position? Is it Tremaine Edmonds? Is it the depth? The weak link? Is it depth? Is it running back? Is running back our weak link? Is it safety? Can't be safety. Maybe it's the cornerback position. What and who is our weak link, and how do we address it in this draft? Whitetown's King says, yo, Spencer Brown is the weak link. Damn. I mean, well, if you look at the O-line, he might be the weakest link on the O-line. Not a terrible thing. It's normal. He was a rookie, 3rd round pick, fairly raw, but he got some nice starting snaps. And you saw some really good things with him. But it's not as easy as we think it is. So then I started going through the roster. All right, let's go quarterback. Weak link, clearly not Josh Allen. Our backup quarterback, though, Case Keenum, solid. Moving on. I'm not even looking at quarterback. Let's go to the running back position. Devin Singletary, Zach Moss, Reggie Gilliam. That's it. Those are our running backs on the squad. To me, that's our weakest link. Duke Johnson. I'm not saying Duke Johnson is poo-poo at all. Boy can still play, comes out of the U. He's nice like that. Not that guy. Tywan Jones doesn't touch the field like that. He's a special teamer. So I'm like, okay, I can make a case for running back. Let's go to the tight end room. Is the tight end room our weakest link? OJ Howard, crazy potential. Dawson Knox just broke out and became a solid player, a very big contributor to the Bills. Nah, the tight end room is not the weak link. Dawson Knox is definitely not the weak link. So what is it? Let's go to the receiver room. Some say that we have one of the best receivers and we have one of the best receiving crew in the game. Gabe Davis is coming up. Heavy. We just signed Stephon Diggs as one of the best in the game. You got Crowder that came from the Jets. Jameson. You got Lil Dirty. Exciting. Speed. Stevenson, who knows what's going on with Stevenson. Jake Kumro. Touchdown Jesus. Nah, we ain't looking at receiver. The receiver room is not the weakest link. Let's go to the O-line. We got Deion Dawkins. We got Roger Saffold. We got Mitch Morse. You got Ryan Bates at right guard. And you got Spencer Brown. Now, I'm looking at the right side. I love Ryan Bates. I don't see him as a weak link at all. I think he's a strong link. But you're only as strong as your weakest link. Is the right tackle our weakest link? Are we looking to improve our right tackle? Do we let him develop? I say we let this man develop because he's going to be a stud in this league. I'm not even looking at the O-line. Moving on. So to me, the two departments that I'm looking at, or the one department that I'm looking at on this offensive side of the ball, is the running back. The running back is our weakest link on this offense. Wouldn't you want to fix that part of your offense if that's your weakest link? But yet you have people that are so in there because they love this player and they fell in love with this player and they couldn't see this team without this player and don't want to upgrade this player. But there comes a time where you just got to be like, hey, fam, we got to upgrade this position, because if we upgrade this position, this team, this offense is nearly unstoppable. It was nearly unstoppable last year. But then you have people saying, well, he would have been 1,000-yard runner. He would have been 1,000-yard runner what was the excuse that I got? He would have been 1,000-yard runner if we had the line that we had near the end of the season. Yes, he also would have been 1,000-yard runner if Josh Allen didn't have 760 damn yards. Why did we have to run Josh Allen for 760 yards? Can you answer that for me? Normally, your offensive coordinator would not run your quarterback with the amount of carries that Josh Allen had. They would not run him that way if we weren't competent in running the rock. We weren't competent in running the rock. So we had to design things for Josh Allen. I mean, obviously, Josh Allen got away with scrambling here and there. That plays a big part of it. But if we don't run him as much as we do, we can depend on our running back to get us what we need. Then we're talking about a different ballgame, but we're not. We ran the heck out of Josh Allen. We can't keep doing that. You can't keep running this guy. You're gonna keep running Josh Allen when he's well into his 30s? Fam, no. You need your running back. Now, where you draft this running back, everyone's got their debate as to where. But on the offense side of the ball, RB is our weak link. Scott Blicky says, yo, second RB. Singletary gets hurt, we're effed. Thank you. I mean, any position that your star gets hit and gets hurt, we're effed, right? But if you have good depth, we're okay, right? Take a look at Trey White. Goes down, you're like, oh, not Trey White. We're trying to make the playoffs. What are we doing? Hey, we were still alive and well. Could we have used them against the Chiefs? Maybe. But that's neither here nor there. But I'm telling you right now, weak link on this offense is RB. So how could you sit there and say bring back Singletary? And there's no slight on Singletary. I like Singletary. I really do. I think he's a good back. But there's not a problem with upgrading where you feel that that's a weak link. That's just what it is. Guys, it's the move that needs to be made, right? Now, that's the offensive side of the ball. Where's the weak link on the defense? Let's talk about it. D-line. Let's go from D-line all the way up. You got Von Miller, Greg Rousseau, Boogie Basham, AJ Epinesa. We got Jordan Phillips, Tim Settle, Daquan Jones, Ed Oliver. Am I missing anybody? Mike Love. Who am I missing? Am I missing anybody? Do you see a weak link on that defense? Ed Oliver, Daquan Jones, Tim Settle, Eli Onku, the Ottawa native. That's my man's. I got to get him on the show one day, one of these days. Phillips, Russo, Epinesa, Basham, Shaq Lawson. I forgot about Shaq Lawson. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Bryant, Mike Love. Not the weak link. We've actually strengthened that link. All right, moving on to linebacker. Who we got a linebacker? You mean? Matt Milano, Tyler Matakevich, Markel Lee, Joe Giles Harris, Tyrell Dotson. Listen, I'm going to stop right there. Linebacker is our second biggest need, and that's our weakest link, in my opinion. If you go to the cornerback room, you got Dane Jackson, Tre'Davious White, Cam Lewis. I mean, shoot. There's another weak link right there. So where is the biggest need? And where's our weakest? Because if Tre'Davious goes down, if Trey goes down, Tremaine Edmonds, we got Tyrell Dotson and Matt Milano. We've had that combo before, and Tyrell Dotson held his own. Very much so. I like Tyrell Dotson, actually. Very good player. You go to corner, if Dane Jackson goes down, problem. Big problem. So maybe it's not linebacker. Maybe it's corner. So let me ask you this. Would you be opposed, now that we've talked about weak link, we talked about, I mean, you got to go through it. You go on the offensive side of the ball, it's clear, at least in my opinion, where the weak link is. You look at the defense side of the ball. One can make a case for linebacker being weak, or maybe thinking long term. One can make an argument for cornerback. So now going into this draft, your first 3 rounds, corner, RB, LB, LB, corner, RB. What are we looking at? It makes sense to go corner just to get that out the way, get a solidified corner, a rookie that's coming in that's had success, you know what I'm saying? And you know, our guy McDermott loves a guy that's played, you know what I mean, all 5 years of college, you know what I mean, a senior guy. That's his preference, at least. So you know he's going to be looking for something like that. Do we go linebacker in the second? Dare we go linebacker in the second? Very interesting. I got a super chat coming in from my man Silas. What up, Si? There's no reason to take an RB before round 3 unless it's a generational RB talent. There isn't one in this draft. Plenty of production RBs on day 3. There are some production RBs on day 3. Why would you wait till day 3, though? If you can get your top talent in the first and second, maybe third. I wouldn't go past the third. If I'm taking an RB, I personally would not go past the third unless someone drops that should have been a second rounder and they drop into the 4th and 5th, which I highly doubt. But if we're trying to upgrade the RB position, you drafted Singletary in the 3rd, you're going to wait till we've seen, listen, Zach Moss, 3rd, Devin Singletary, 3rd. Do you want to go back and do this 3rd, 4th, 5th? We're going to be right back into it. Wouldn't you want to grab someone? And this doesn't even have to be the linebacker, the running back position. Wouldn't you want to grab, especially, and I'll use the running back position because we're talking about it. Wouldn't you want to grab the best running back in the game or in this draft, get the best out of them for the first 5 years, and then say, see you later, I'll get something else? Especially because we don't have glaring needs. And our weakest link is on the offensive side of the ball. So, Silas, my good man, and obviously cornerback is clear that cornerback we definitely need to draft. What are you doing in the second round? So let's just say cornerback is the first round. What are you doing in the second round? I'm curious. And what are you guys doing in the second round? Let's just say the unanimous pick is corner. Corner is the first pick we make. I think everybody is going to be all over it. So what do you do in the second? Stephen Bryant, 25th pick. You got to go with Booth from Clemson. I'm with you. I F with Booth for sure. Johnny Blaze says you got to go receiver in the first round. Damn, okay. Receiver in the first round, guard in the second, corner in the third. I'm going to tell you something right now. If you wait till the second round to grab a corner, all the top prospect corners are gone. It's slim picking if you wait till the third for sure. Slim picking. Slim picking for these top type corners. I'm pretty sure you just said receiver first, no? Did I just read that correctly? Johnny Blaze? Receiver, OG, cornerback, RB in the first. Oh, I see what you're saying. In the first. Whoever's rated highest. Got you. Dayton R said, yo, Fred Jackson was undrafted. Would rather trade those high picks for a proven NFL talent. Very rare will you find a free agent of a kind of undrafted stud. If you find one, shit, great. Receiver Christian Watson, second or even first round. People are still on receiver in the first round. That's interesting. But I put this on you guys. And if you want to call in, you guys have every right to call in, man. Jump in. Game Tuts. You know the number. And if for those that are wondering how you call in, you got to be a member. You got to be a Bing Squad member. And for those that are Bing Squad members, you guys know the number. Hasn't changed. Same thing. RB first round. Second round, you go with a cornerback. Third round, you go with a linebacker. Trust the process with the McDermott's coaching to get our DBs right. We need a day one game changer at RB. That's the opinion that I share as well. But some people don't feel that way. They actually feel extreme. They physically feel ill when you mention running back at first round. They're ready to throw up. It is what it is. Salute to my man Silas. Silas, I appreciate your super chats. You know that's the truth, man. Positional value dictates taking receiver, cornerback, interior lineman, defensive end, and DT early because those cost more on contracts. Yo, he says I'm calling. Yo, you know the number side. You know the number. Number hasn't changed. We here. The number, you know what? I'm gonna have to post the number again, fellas. I'm gonna have to post that number again. If you guys want to call in, call-ins, I'm taking call-ins ASAP. Let me see if I can post the number for y'all. I'm gonna post it in the YouTube community chat. So in the meantime, while I do that, if you guys have not been able to go ahead and download our BF Network app, I highly suggest it. It's dope. It's fun. Jump all over it. I think you guys will enjoy it. If you haven't downloaded it, download it. If you have downloaded it, much appreciation. You guys are real ones. So as I'm going to play this commercial for y'all, I'm going to actually post the phone number into the community chat so people know to call in and go from there. So hang tight, play this commercial, and we'll be right back.
Overdrive.
So number has been posted to all channel members. So go ahead and jump in if you want to call. Go ahead and go to the community tab in the chat. You'll see the number posted. And if you want to call in and you have a hot take and you want to talk about something, you guys know what to do. Come on in and get going. Let's go. Shout out to my man Ryan Teal. What's up, Ryan Teal? I haven't heard from you in a long time, man. What's happening, man? What do you think about Spen B's teammate at guard? Spen B's teammate at guard. Who is that? You're gonna have to refresh my memory. So Spencer Brown. Oh, you're talking about Penning. Penning. Dude, if we could get Penning, fam. But he's gone early. I would have no bones about drafting Penning. That boy is nasty. He is nasty. Now, do we have a great need for him? If you take Penning, that means Ryan Bates sits. And we love Ryan Bates. But I got to be out of my feelings. I have to be out of my feelings. And if we're going to go with that type of player, have him sit. And then Roger Saffold next year has to, you know what I mean? If he stays, if he doesn't, not a big deal. But I'm gonna tell you right now, man, it wouldn't be a bad look. It would not be a bad look if we could trade up. But he's gonna be gone early. Now, if he's not, and if he's around, if we have him high on the board, then it's a different ball game. And by the way, shout out to my man Game Touch TV. He is a member, but I know he just upgraded. So I appreciate you, my G. I appreciate you a lot, man. Welcome to the Bing Squad. Bing, biggity, bing. Let's go. So if you guys want to call in, you are available to call in right now, taking calls. And I'm going to get my first call right now. This is the Rico Report. I got somebody on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Silas Whittle was good, Rico.
Silas Whittle. What's up, Si? Talk to me, man. What's on your mind?
Hey, man, listen. I love a good running back. I prefer somebody with some speed, but drafting a running back before day 3, in my opinion, is a waste because you got a guy on a rookie contract. If you draft a running back in the first round, he's one of the top 10 running backs as far as pay wise, and immediately before he takes a snap. So, and running back, the shelf life of a running back is only like what, 7 years, 6 years,
right?
Something like that. Like guys in the chat talking about Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley went number 2 overall. He's had 5 major injuries: ACL, MCL. He had 2 injuries in college that sidelined up the game. Like, you invest in all of those resources, like at that positional value in the draft, you can get a wide receiver. You just paid Stephon Diggs, what, $26 million? If you can get a guy that can come in and actually play in the slot and transition outside over the next couple of years, give Diggs the option to move it inside and outside as the offense sees fit. On a rookie deal, like that makes a lot of to me. That just makes more sense. Roger Stafford signed for 1 year. Outside of Ryan Bates, we don't have anybody at guard that we're comfortable with starting for a 17-game season. Daquan Jones is only signed for 2 years. Phillips is signed for 1 year. Oh gosh, what's the other? Oh, Crowder. Crowder's only signed for 1 year.
Right.
McKenzie signed for 2 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, these are holes that we got to fill. I don't trust Stevenson. I don't trust Hodgins. Hodgins hasn't even seen the field.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm with that. Take a running back, but you can get James Cook in round. You can get Dalvin Cook's little brother. I think his name is James.
Yep.
You can get him in round 3.
Yep.
You can get maybe Waller or Spiller slips, and you trade up in round 3 and get him, or you get one of these guys like Rachaad White in round 4. You get a guy in the later round like Ty Chandler, who's coming out of a pro style, heavy passing offense, a lot of shotgun, a lot of RPO, playing down there in North Carolina with Howell. I mean, those are the guys that we should be looking at because number one, they're cheap. Ty Chandler's got a little speed to him. He's got a little bit of wiggle. He runs angry. He's got some power, and he's productive. And in this offense, you need a guy who's going to be productive with a small amount of activity because we throw the ball so much. We don't want to run Josh Allen like crazy, but Josh Allen can get the ball out of his hands a little bit quicker. He can hand it off a little bit more. We could utilize McKenzie a little bit more in the RPOs or gadget play game. Even we draft a guy like Christian Watson and Alex Pierce. The guys are running 4.36, 4.35, 4.34s. Use them guys on end rounds. Use them guys on RPO pitches or whatever. Like, there's ways to get around not using Josh Allen as a 6'5" bowling ball, but drafting a running back in the first 2 rounds, to me, financially just doesn't make sense.
All right. And so I want you to stay on there because you made some fantastic points. Now, one thing I will definitely agree with you. There are some really damn good backs in this draft. There's no question about it, right? Ty Chandler is one of them I like a lot. Rachaad White, I love Rachaad White. He'll probably be 3rd, might be gone in 3rd. You never know. To risk jumping and having a guy in the 4th and 5th, you're I wouldn't say you're taking a chance. You're not taking a chance per se, but if you have a surefire pick that contributes right off the bat, and that will help your team. I don't see just to not take him. That's one thing. But there are some talented guys in the back. Now, one thing I don't agree with is picking a receiver in the first. Now, because if you pick a receiver in the first, and there's no problem with it, by the way, it's not a bad, horrible pick. We can go anywhere. Just quarterback, we just can't go. But anyway, if you go receiver in the first, if you do, right, there's some talented guys. They're not going to be, you grab a receiver in the first, you need him to be a contributor right off the bat. He's going to be behind Diggs. He's going to be behind Gibson. Excuse me, you haven't seen Gibson. He's going to be behind Gabe Davis, and he's going to be behind Dawson Knox in those. So you're going to have him as the fourth option. You want to draft a first rounder to be the fourth option receiver on your squad. I get it. You're looking at next year. But even next year, he's still the fourth option because it's going to be Davis, Diggs, Dawson. Then the receiver. Depending on what receiver you grab. Is it a slot receiver? Is it a number 2 receiver? Well, the number 2 receiver is Gabe Davis. So talk to me.
Okay, so I'm going to use the 2 guys that I said.
Yeah.
Who would be available at 25.
For sure.
Or maybe even in the round 2. All right, so let's look at Christian Watson. Let's look at Alex Pierce.
Yeah.
Christian Watson, 6'4", 208, 4.36 40, 38-inch vertical. Alex Pierce, the guy's got huge hands.
Yep.
Played slot, played on the outside, does all the gadget stuff, and he runs back, kicks and punts.
Versatility. I like that.
Reason to take a guy like that. All right. Alex Pierce, 6'3", about 205, 200.
Yep.
4.36 40, 41. I think his vert was like 41 inches or something
explosive
like that. Decent hands, yeah, decent hands. One thing that if after the Chiefs game, after the Chiefs game, we had the interviews with McDermott and Bean. They all said the same thing. We need to get faster on both sides of the ball. We don't have a speed guy. We got McKenzie. He's 5'8". If we can get a guy who can stretch the field vertically and you have to commit a safety because these guys are 6'3", 6'5", 6'2", whatever, and they can win those 50-50 balls because they're great athletes. They can stretch the field. You open things up for your tight. You open things up for Knox. You guaranteed to get one-on-one coverage with either Davis or Diggs, and they can't stick a safety in the box on it because they got to commit one up top. That's what I'm saying. Like these type of things make our whatever running back we take, it makes them better. It gives Josh Allen a cleaner pocket. It gives our whatever running back we have, whether it's Motor or we take a rookie or Zach Moss. I mean, at this point, if we can pull an extra safety, a linebacker out of the box, Zach Moss has no reason to run it into the back of his lineman anymore.
Yeah,
and we're trying to get out of that. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like those things, like everything has a cause and effect.
For sure.
I think positional value in round 1, the pick should be either corner or guard. If Zion Johnson or Kenyon Green is sitting there, take him. If Andrew Booth is there, take him.
Absolutely.
If Kyler Gordon is there, I don't even like Kyler Gordon because I don't think Kyler Gordon is fast enough to play. I don't want him. I don't want him because he ran a 4.5. But if McDuffie's there or you feeling great about McCreary, take him.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Get the receiver. Get the receiver because you can use the receiver in so many different ways, and it opens up your offense. Like without that speed factor, that's one thing I love about Beasley. Beasley makes a lot of catches and got a lot of first downs, but he did not stretch the field. People were sticking linebackers on Beasley.
Facts.
And it was okay. I mean, so we got to get a guy that can stretch the field.
So, and I have no problems with that. The same argument can absolutely be made for the receiver when you're looking for speed. Tyreek was no damn first rounder. Tyreek is what, 5'7"? Tyreek Hill, 5'7", and they found that man in the 5th. So the same argument can be made for anybody, but speed is something that we do need. You know what I'm saying? We got that Tyquan Smith. Is it Tyquan Smith? His name is not coming to me right now.
Tyquan
Thornton.
Tyquan Thornton.
Man is got good size to him. He's a little thinner, but he can run. He's got that speed. But you made some very valid points. Very valid points. I'm not here lamenting that we grab a running back in the first. It wouldn't make me mad if we did, because I knew that person would be an instant contributor right off the bat. We always talk about closer, right? We got Von Miller to be the closer on the defensive side of the ball. Sometimes you need your back to be your closer. Devin Singletary, is he a closer? Debatable. If you can find and now this is where it comes preference. Is there a good enough guy that you feel in this draft that can be a closer? That's the one that's debatable. But Silas, you made some fantastic points, man. Real talk.
Right. Rico, I appreciate it, but I don't think that we have that guy in this draft.
That's see, that's what it is. Okay.
If this was Jonathan Taylor, like, I'm not saying never take a running back.
For sure.
Like, if Adrian Peterson is sitting available at 25,
I
don't care what our needs are. We could need everything. I would say, everything outside of quarterback.
Yeah.
I would say go get AP because he's a generational talent. Like,
facts.
Those guys come once in
a long time.
Years. Same thing with Tyreek Hill. Like, they got lucky. You don't find Tyreek Hill production in the 5th round every year. But you can find great running backs in the later rounds. What's the guy that used to play for Houston? Running back for Houston. Wasn't even drafted.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. He's smooth runner. I know exactly what you're talking about. I forgot.
He wasn't even drafted.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys like that. So, that's why I just think position
good point.
value because
Fair
of
point.
These contracts, and always, as always, man, great show.
No doubt, man. Yo, that's a fantastic call, man. Silas, I appreciate you. You know I do, man. And appreciate your phone call. You made some fantastic points, man. RBs can be had in the 4th. Can be had. Go ahead.
One more thing. My last thing. Hey, y'all, everybody in the chat, tell a friend to tell a friend. Y'all need to start booking y'all stuff now for this Buffalo Super Bowl parade.
Hey, yo.
Book your stuff now because the rates are going to be crazy.
It's going to be crazy. Yo, book it now.
I booked mine after we signed Von Miller. I'm booked already.
Good. He's booked. He's booked and busy and booked and ready. Let's go. Yo, listen, is there room at the Red Roof Hotel?
I don't know, man. I got an Airbnb, bro.
There you go. My man. Yo, Silas, I appreciate you, my man. And anytime you want to call me, you know the number. You call me, bro.
I got you.
Yes, sir. All right, man. That's my man, Silas Whittle. Silas been a long time listener, man. That's my guy right now. So if you guys want to call in, I got time. I got another 10 minutes to roll and take some phone calls. Silas made some fantastic points. Fantastic points, man. Listen, at the end of the day, the draft is a crapshoot. We can talk about all the things we want and think the team needs, and then they'll go ahead and grab the tight end in the 1st. And we'll all make a case for that makes sense if we grab a tight end, or they'll grab a guard, and Silas made a good point, man. Roger Saffold's here for another year, right? And at that point, behind Ryan Bates, we got nobody. We're at Cody Ford. We'll see what Cody Ford is really made of with Aaron Cromer being our guy. But we'll see what it is, man. I'm going to take another phone call coming in. Oh, I had a phone call, and then the phone call dropped. So whoever was just trying to call right now, go ahead and call me again and get on the line and go from there. So if you guys are ready to call that line. The line is open. The hotline is open. And make your way calling right now. Let me see if I can try to. Oh, we got a call right now. Let me get this call. If it's going to let me pick up the damn call. Incoming call. It's not letting me pick it up. If you guys trying to call, man, call right now. This is the time to do it. I don't know why my phone was acting up, but call right now if you're trying to make that phone call. Scott Blakely comes in. Let me get this call here. Let me read Scott Blakely here, and then I'll get that call. I got Scott Blakely says that White may not be back until October. Cornerback is obviously in the 1st round. In my opinion, they have no room for 8 picks. Trade up and get Booth. And that's what Scott Blakely said. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a line. I got somebody in line right now. Who is this? Who am I speaking to?
It's your boy. I didn't upgrade. I had my membership canceled because I got a new credit card.
And my man was dedicated enough to become a member once again. I appreciate you. Game Touch TV.
Max, Dayton, Ohio.
What's up, Max? What's happening, man? What's on your mind, bro?
So it's been a minute. And I always love your show. Is like my favorite.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Talk. I wish. Shout out to Skip and Shannon. They're like my favorite professional, but the topics that they talk about are awful. But anyway,
it's my turn. Yeah. It's my turn. Skip Bayless, man. I'll tell you.
How will Baker Mayfield sneezing affect his trade value?
I know, right?
Anyway. Stupid. Awful. Anyway, no, our boy Silas, fuck with his points to
For
a
sure.
point. No pun intended.
Yep.
He was talking about don't take a running back until day 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little steep. All right. Because
that's my fear.
I guess that's 4th round, right? That's too late, right? Because I'm sorry, the odds, you can go and look into it, and maybe you can look at 2017 and be like, oh, look at all the running backs, but that was a special year. If you look at players drafted in the 4th round, I mean, it is an absolute crapshoot. I mean, you can look back in the past 3 or 4 years, and you literally have a list of like 400 players that are drafted past round 4, and how many are starting right now? Like, not very many. So.
Nope.
To me, I think that where we pick at pick 25, right?
Yep.
25?
Yep.
I think if there is a running back, whether it's Kenneth Walker or Breece Hall, whoever, that you can get production out of and can be the bell cow, because I think that's what the Bills need. They need somebody who's consistent.
In my opinion, that's what they need as well.
Right. And you look at somebody like a Najee Harris last year for the Steelers. I think he was absolutely worth the what they took him like 26th overall or something like
in that range.
That late in the 1st round.
In that range.
Yeah, like to me, the Saquon Barkley pick might be one of the worst top 5 draft picks non-quarterback that I can remember in a long time. Terrible idea, by the way. But like as long as it's not top 20, if the talent is there, if they are able to be a bell cow, then go for it, especially if they're a good pass catcher. I still don't understand the Barkley pick, though, because he'd never even toted the rock more than 20 times in college, or like five different games or something, which is ridiculous. I can't believe the Giants are a mess. But anyway, Dable, shout out to you. Hopefully you can fix that dumpster fire. But I think if I'm all for best player available, to be honest. I mean, I think that obviously with Trey White being hurt, and he tore his ACL in I want to say November or December. He's going to be out probably, until it might be week 5, week 6 before he's back. So
it's problematic
in general. I can't believe we lost Levi Wallace for so cheap. I think he was definitely worth it. Seeing some of the other people that got paid so much money, but also, I think Silas's biggest crutch for his point about day 3. And this is kind of interesting, and he's probably right. I haven't looked into it, but like if you draft a running back, in the 1st or 2nd round, they're already like top 10 in most paid running backs, which is just crazy.
Yeah, it is
kind
crazy.
of funny to think about, but the shelf life is valid, right? But I think people need to stop worrying about the cap so much, because with all of the restructuring that goes on and all of the cap keeps changing. Like what it was raised by some like 20 million this year or something. Like
it's going to keep going up.
Exactly. And so the sooner you pay your guys, the better. And so, I don't think the Bills need to worry as much about cap, especially because their quarterback they have, like we are in a situation where we have a top 4 quarterback where it literally does not matter, if our team is maybe don't have slightly as good of a defensive line as our opponent or something like that. If we have the better quarterback, that takes you so much farther. And as long as we have that guy, we don't need to build a super squad. The Rams, they, fuck them draft picks or whatever. Don't even get me started, all right? Because you want to talk about a changing narrative with them. I know this isn't really Bills related, but those dudes were so close several times to losing to the Bucks and to the sorry ass 49ers. So could you imagine? Oh my God.
It's craziness, man. It is crazy.
If they would have lost. Oh my God. Especially, man, they're like dog shit.
I'm gonna say this though.
But anyway,
go ahead.
I will say the Bills right now, we are in the most, I would say we are in the most fortunate position right now.
Absolutely.
Obviously, we have some pressure because we are viewed as Super Bowl favorites, and that's the expectation. But we've got a top 4 quarterback. If you close your eyes and had a list of Rodgers, Mahomes, Brady, and Allen, and you pick them out of the hat, they're the 4 best quarterbacks.
Yep.
Right? which is, only 3 other teams can say that. And we, most importantly, we play in the most wide open division in football, or in the conference. The NFC East is the worst division in football, but we play in the division where we have the largest margin between the next best team in our division.
Yep.
And in this conference, I mean, the AFC West, good Lord. AFC North, almost just as crazy. AFC South, but I mean, those others, there's going to be at least 2 damn good teams that are going to miss the playoffs, just like last year.
Tough.
The Colts missed the playoffs somehow.
Yeah, man.
The Ravens got decimated by injuries.
It's going to be that way.
The Chargers missed the playoffs somehow. It's going to happen. But it doesn't matter. Like, we're going to get a home playoff game, right? We went 11-6, lost some bad games, but it didn't matter. We got to the playoffs, and I think that's something that I feel like, we're stressing about the offseason, and it's the offseason, it's the Bills page, we're talking about, and that's all, that's what we do. But still, I think the urgency of, like, don't draft. They got to draft best player available.
Listen. I'm gonna cut it. They're gonna draft best player available. Right. Like somebody said this earlier. I said this before. We don't know shit when it comes to the draft. I don't care if you're Mel Kiper or you're freaking Pierre Gabart or you're freaking Rico Bellini or you're freaking Joe Marino or you're freaking who knows. We don't know shit. This is all, like, my mock is just as good as your mock, right? Because it's going to be fucking wrong. It's going to be wrong because these teams have their board set up and they're going to pick who the hell they feel is best for their team. We can think that the RB is best for their team and then go ahead and grab a damn receiver that we had no idea, like Traylon Burks. They're going to go and grab Traylon Burks. We're like, what? You grab Traylon Burks? Really? And then we're always going to make a case. They might go and draft freaking Kenneth Walker in the first round. And we'll be like, damn, you drafted Kenneth Walker in the first round? We'll make a case for it. So we can talk about all this mock draft and we should do this and we should do that. It's fun and it's more so for us, the fan. But, man, we are going to be wrong as shit. And I'll tell you that right now. Dayton, I gotta let you, Max, I gotta let you be because I gotta get going soon. But I do have to read one thing before I let you go. But hey, listen, do you have any last words before I let you be?
Let's see. Best player available. You guys better do another stream, you and Kevin. I'll never forget when we drafted Cody Ford and you guys were streaming. That was funny because you guys both thought it was such a great pick. I have that etched in my memory because it was during quarantine and everything, right?
Yeah. Oh, Corey Ford, great pick, second round.
Yeah, exactly. We were like, oh, this guy's a first round talent, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
He plays every position.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And let me tell you right now.
That's all I want is you and Kevin to stream the.
We are definitely going to be streaming draft day for sure. You best believe it. We're going to have guests coming in and out. It's going to be lit like it always is. It's going to be fun. And I can't wait for Kevin's face when Kevin's in a very good place right now. He loves his team. And the fact that they're going into a draft and they're loaded already, it's going to be a good draft for him. But I'm going to let you be, Max. I got one thing I got to read to the rest of the crowd before I get out of here, but I appreciate you. You know I always do. Thank you for re-upping with the BF Being Squad. Salute to you, my G.
Never change.
Yeah, you know I won't, man. I'm always the same, baby. Let's go.
Of course.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Take care, boss. That's my guy, Max. Max is a good dude. Now, Silas was brought up some things earlier today. Now, in the chat, before I get out of here, I need give me 3 years. Right? Between 1990 to 2021. Pick 3 years. Give me, if you want 2003, give me 2011. Give me a year. I don't care which one. Right? I'm testing something out. Because a lot of people talk about get a running back and it doesn't upset me. It pisses me off. No, I'm just kidding. But get a running back in the 4th, get a running back in the 5th, like they're gonna pan out. Right? That's why there's rounds. Round 1 is where your best players are at. Round 7, those are your, we'll see what happens with him. And if it pans out, it pans out. Or I can cut him on a dime and it won't cost me shit. Right? Stevie Johnson, 7th round pick. Precious. That's my favorite Bills player of all time. That's my guy. Right? But there are some 7th round picks that are bums. right? And rightfully so, off the squad. So give me a year. Give me 3. You know what? Let's fuck it. Give me 2. Pick 2 years from 1990 to 2021. Give me something. I haven't even looked at it to really show you what's going on. But somebody give me something. I don't know how delayed this chat is, but I've asked this question 3 damn times and nobody's giving me a damn year. Let's go. Give me something before I get out of here. What's your favorite year? Right? Between 2000, we'll say 1990 to 2021. What y'all got? You know what? Before you guys listen, okay, 1994. Thank you, Big Baller Bean. So let's go all the way to 1994. Now, a lot of y'all you guys probably weren't even born. You know what I'm saying? But we'll go 1994. All right. In the 1994 draft, you want to know who your first round draft pick? Marshall Faulk was drafted in the first round, 2nd pick. All right. After that was Greg Hill. Then you had Eric Rett. That was the 2nd round. Charlie Garner was in the 2nd round. You guys remember Charlie Garner? Some of you guys will. The young bucks won't. And I'm going down the list, right? And I was more specifically going into the 4th and beyond. Dorsey Levens, 5th round. Lamont Warren, Fred Lester, Anthony Daigle, Jamal Anderson was drafted in the 7th round, right? Jamal Anderson, the drafted by the Falcons. You guys remember Jamal Anderson, right? The Dirty Bird. Jamal Anderson. Give me another year. Give me another year, damn it. 1996, Maurice Anderson. Let's go 96. Because I'm trying to tell you, you guys think there's a whole bunch of running backs that's going to pan out in the 4th and beyond. And you're like, you're sitting like, come on, son. You know what I'm saying? So, and Marshall Faulk, Hall of Famer, 1st round, 2nd pick. Don't tell me that you can't find these backs and they can't pan out. They can. Don't ever draft. Could you imagine them skipping on Marshall Faulk because it's a running back? I'm not grabbing Marshall Faulk. Are you nuts? No, thank you. Come on, man. This is what I'm talking about. And no slight on Silas. Silas got me into this, right? So let's go 1996. Do you guys remember Tim Biakapatuka for the Panthers? My gosh, I can't believe I pronounced that perfectly on the first one. All right. 1996, Lawrence Phillips, right? Started off great, not so great, right? Eddie George was a 3rd rounder. 3rd rounder. Let's see. So we got Eddie George. We got Mike Allstott was the 5th. I'm looking at names that you guys might know. Reggie Brown, Stephen Davis. Stephen Davis was a 4th rounder. You guys might not remember who Stephen Davis was. I'm looking at this and nobody else in that draft that you guys would actually say, oh yeah, that's that baller. No, 4th and beyond. You think you're gonna find something because you guys try to make the running back such a position of no need. You put no value and respect on the running back position where you think you can grab something in the 4th and say, you'll have a really good back in the 4th. They'll pan out for you. Well, I've read you 2 years now. Let's go 2012. Somebody gave me 2012. Let's go a little more recent. Let's go to the 2012 draft pick. All right. My man Silas came in. What up, Silas? Silas comes in and says, yo, you can look over the last 5 years. Tony Pollard, Ramondre Stevens, Marlon Mack are all round 4. Okay. That's why I'm using random years. I'm using random. I'm making you guys choose the random years, right? I got to watch my time because I don't want to be late for work. So 2012, Trent Richardson. We already know about Trent Richardson, right? Here we go. Trent Richardson was the 3rd. Awful pick, by the way. Trent Richardson was awful. Okay. So you got Doug Martin, David Wilson. Those are all 1st rounders. Okay. But I'm more trying to focus on 4th and beyond. Here we go. You got Lamar Miller in the 4th. Robert Turbin in the 4th. Rhett Wilson. I'm trying to think of people that you guys might know. Alfred Morris was a 6th round pick. And let me see. And that's it. Alfred Morris. All right. That was in the 6th round pick. We can get running backs later on in the okay. I'm giving you guys the names, right? Let's give me another year. 2001. Dayton R says, yo, let's go back to 01. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to 2001. Who was in that 2001 draft? Here we go. LaDainian Tomlinson, 5th round pick. Could you imagine skipping on LaDainian Tomlinson? All right. Deuce McAllister, second round pick. He was a second rounder, first pick in the second round, right? Hold on. He was a first round pick. LaDainian was a first round pick. Deuce McAllister was a first round pick. Michael Bennett was a first round pick. Let's see. Here we go. Anthony Thomas, second round pick. Travis Henry, second round pick, right? Those are good backs, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about fourth and beyond. So let's go fourth and beyond. Rudy Johnson, Correll Buckhalter, Jameel Cook, Darian Brown, nothing. So let's stop the bullshit, acting like we can find these backs in the fourth and fifth and sixth. They don't come around like that, man. They don't. You got to grab your guys in the first three. Your first three are where they're at. They're where they're at. Give me another year, baby. Let's go. I'm on fire. Let's go. Find me another freaking year, man. Let's do 2017. Somebody said let's go up to 2017. What was going on in the 2017 draft? Let's go. We had Leonard Fournette. He was the fourth round pick. Sorry, first round, fourth pick. All right. Let me scroll up here. Here we go. We had Christian McCaffrey. He was the eighth pick. Dalvin Cook, ninth pick. Those three guys are still contributors to this day and can start in this league. No question about it. Joe Mixon, that boy was a second round pick, but we're not talking about the first three. We're talking about fourth and beyond, right? Let's go to fourth and beyond. All right, Samaje Perine, Tariq Cohen, Joe Williams, Donnell Pumphrey, Jamal Williams, Wayne Gallman, Marlon Mack. I like Marlon Mack. Marlon Mack was drafted in the fourth round. Brian Hill, Jerry McNichols, TJ Logan, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones was drafted in the fifth. Nice pick. I'll give you that one right there. Elijah McGuire, Alex Arma, D'Angelo Henderson, Sam Rogers, and then the rest goes on to nothing. All right? Nothing. Nothing good. So we got one. We have one. We went through 4 years. 4 years of backs in the fourth and beyond. We found maybe two. Jamal Anderson was one of them in the seventh. And we had freaking Aaron Jones. Guys, I'm just saying, people, I'm telling you, just because it's the running back, stop devaluing the freaking running back position. You can find it in the fourth and the fifth and the sixth. Well, go through the freaking drafts of all these years and look fourth and beyond and tell me how many gems you found in that bitch. But first three, you got some backs. You got some backs. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you better not wait till the fourth and fifth and sixth and try to draft a running back, Mr. Bean. You know where it's at. It's the first three. Now, you drafted Devin Singletary in the third, and you drafted Zach Moss in the third. Right now, people are not really on Zach Moss's team right now because they just feel like we don't know what's going on with Zach Moss, right? So maybe third time's a charm. Third time's a charm where you nail a running back in the first three. And if it has to be the third round, so be it. But you better find your back. If you try to wait till fourth and beyond, fam, the numbers aren't great. I'm going to just choose a random year. Let's go to 2005. I don't even know who the hell you got drafted in 2005. Here we go. First round, second pick, Ronnie Brown. First round, fourth pick, Cedric Benson. First round, fifth pick, Cadillac Williams, right? Those are the first round guys. Let's go beyond the fourth, right? Beyond the third. Maurice Clarett. What would have been with Maurice Clarett if you didn't have that whole nonsense happening? All right, fourth round, Marion Barber. I love Marion Barber. Marion Barber was legit. Marion Barber, Brandon Jacobs in the fourth. Cedric Faison, no, I remember him, but he wasn't great. Darren Sproles with a fourth round pick. Let me see. Let me keep going. So we got two guys that were decent guys in that. Are they game changers? Absolutely not. Are they bell cow guys that you can say, yo, that's my guy? Absolutely not. 2004, Steven Jackson, first round pick. Julius Jones was a second round pick. Let's go fourth and beyond. Moelde Moore, no thank you. Michael Turner. I like Michael Turner, man. Thick old thighs. Michael Turner. He was a fifth round pick. Other than that, nothing. One guy. One freaking guy. So, you know what? I'll take my freaking chances on grabbing a running back in the first, second, and third. I am not waiting until the fourth. Sorry, not happening. Anyway, folks, that's my time. It's 11 o'clock. I got to get going because my black ass is going to be late. And you know what they say about black folks? We always late. Can't have that. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't mean to end it like this, but I had to talk about it, man. I had to talk about it. I wanted to take your phone calls, but I just can't because your boys got to go. But ladies and gentlemen, stop sleeping on the damn running back position. You know what I'm saying? Stop sleeping on the damn running back position, baby. Let's go. We got our grab bars in the first 3 rounds. I'm not playing no games, man. Silas, I respect you. You know I do. You brought up some great freaking points. No question about that. No doubt. But don't be sleeping on the running back position. Don't be sleeping on the cornerback position because we gotta make sure we handle our cornerback position, but we can't rush into signing a free agent corner. We can chill. Let's draft first. Let's see who gets cut around the league, and then we can fill our needs then. But until then, remember, Rico says, you don't know shit. You don't know shit. Neither do I. We're all speculating. From the top guys in the league, from Mel Kuypers to the little guys like us. You know what I'm saying? We ain't no shit. We're just going to have to wait it out and be surprised and shocked like everybody. You guys already know the drill. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are the best. Follow me on Twitter right here. Mr. Rico _BF. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to get this thing going. Let's try to get our subs going. Smash that like before you get out of here. We're trying to get up to 22,000 subscribers, and we're trying to make it all the way to 30K. Let's make it happen, man. With that being said, you guys be great. You guys be good to one another. And until next time, it's your boy, and I'm gone. Let's go. Woo!